Let's take a thumbnail. That's really weird. Hi guys, so
Action!
Take two. Okay, we're gonna do this again because we rambled, but now we are prepared. Hi guys, so we are going to talk about some of our favorite movies. Obviously, we can't talk about all of them. And we tried to talk about 3 that we agree on, which means there's gonna be no horror, there's gonna be no musicals, there's gonna be no fun, because he doesn't like any of that. And then we're each gonna talk about 3 that we like, but we don't necessarily agree on. So, we're gonna try and be quick about this. Take it away, or should I take it away? Am I talking about it?
We already talked about it. I'm doing first, you doing it, I'm doing it.
Okay, then you go, take it away.
First one, Chungking Express. 1994 by Wang Gawei. I really like the director. Actually, I watched every single movie he ever made. More than
Multiple
one time.
times. Multiple times. I haven't seen Chungking Express in a while. So.
What's wrong with you? Chungking Express is about these 2 cops who recently broke up, or how do you
don't have love.
And find out love. Even though it's not really a romantic movie, I would say. The movie doesn't feel like really romantic.
It's definitely just trying to capture a mood. More than tell a story, it's trying to capture the mood of that like transition.
Yes. The movie actually shows a lot of random scenes also. There are a lot of random scenes that doesn't necessarily need to be there. But it captured this very specific feeling of 1994 Hong Kong feeling.
Yeah, it's also set in Hong Kong, so it's just like beautifully shot.
Yeah, and the Christopher Doyle, who was a filming director, he was really good at it. Yeah, it was such a
music is wonderful, colors are wonderful.
Such a very unique movie. They actually, like looking back, it doesn't really have a great story or something.
Yeah.
There's some of the flaws or some of the setups are very interesting, but not like great. But the whole as a movie has this very unique feeling that it's really hard to find in other movies.
Number 2, Frances Ha. This is the movie that we actually kind of started talking. That's the reason why we like started our friendship. Was this movie? But basically, it is Frances Ha by Noah. What is it?
Baumbach.
You say
Beck.
Okay, Baumbach. Fine. And 2012 is when it came out. It is all in black and white. It stars Greta Gerwig, who also wrote it, I believe, with Noah. And we love.
Not sure actually, but.
Well, we love anything she's in. Yeah, it basically is about a late 20s woman who is living in New York City. She's a modern dancer, and she has her life kind of thrown into chaos because her roommate decides that she's going to move out, and Frances cannot follow her for whatever reason. It's like financial, I guess. There's not like a huge ending to the story. It just follows this kind of moment of chaos in her life, and I think anybody who's in their late 20s or in a moment of change and feeling very unsure about their lives, it's not going to make you feel better, but it's going to make you feel understood. The very special chaos of like not knowing what you're doing with your life, and the pressure of like everyone else knowing or seeming to know. Yeah, I think it just captured it really well, and yeah, highly suggested.
Yeah, it's really the overall sentiment of the movie is that like you feeling understood.
Yeah,
it's
the audience feels understood.
Also, so
yeah, again, it's super ordinary, especially like if you live in New York. It's like such a love letter to like downtown. So yeah, highly suggest. The music's great.
I like the movie.
Moving on to our final one.
The Parricide. Yes.
2019.
Yes.
Bong Joon-ho.
It's about, so shortly the plot.
It's really hard to not spoil it.
There's a rich family.
So.
There's a poor family, and poor family start to getting into the rich family's house one by one by getting the jobs
like tutors
and drivers and cooks and all that.
Cleaner, yeah. The rich family is not a dramatization. You might think that like, oh, you know, K-dramas, they always have these really like crazy rich families, but the way that Bong Joon-ho made the rich family in this film is like dead on. Like, we know people like that, like our boss.
The thing about Bong Joon-ho that people need to know about is he obsessed with the detail. Like anything in the movie, that should be like realistic. It is realistic.
It's realistic.
Pretty 100%.
Like there were words that came out of specifically the rich woman's mouth.
The way she speak,
uncanny.
it just makes you think about a lot of things, including like how miserable I guess people could be, but also like meaning of being rich in this world. Also like a lot of things. My advice while watching the movie is to just trying to watch the whole movie without relating yourself with a certain character. Like that's kind of ruins the whole idea of movie, I think.
You can't be like, oh, the rich family is the bad family and the poor family is the good family or something like that.
Bong Joon-ho already gave this interview multiple times saying like, I don't believe in having a pure evil or pure good. I always think there are multiple layers of people who have multiple intention. There's no such a thing as purely good. That applies to this movie too. So if you just like step back and watch the movie as like whole, then it makes much more sense, I think.
And it might be going for an Oscar. Did you say this
It
movie?
already got the Oscar. Not the Oscar.
No.
Yeah,
It's good.
they're running for Oscar.
Yeah. So
You know, like all for Oscar, they have to like,
yeah.
advertise and all that. They're doing the advertisement. I'm not sure they're gonna get it.
You never know.
It got a really great reviews even in America, so
Yeah.
I highly hope it. I don't know.
Yay. So those are the three that we agree on. We were gonna put Howl's Moving Castle, but then he was like, oh, I like Princess Mononoke more. So we can't agree on that.
Wind Rises better.
Or The Wind Rises. We can't agree on a Studio Ghibli. And also we were going to put in, just as a bonus, Kimi no Na wa, Your Name. If you're looking for an animation, excellent.
It is good.
Yeah.
It is very good.
Yes. So anyway, now we move on to the ones that we don't agree on. And so,
Should I do mine first?
let us begin. Do you want to go first? You can.
We'll
do one by one.
My first pick is Inglourious Bastard. So I really like Quentin Tarantino. I watch Kill Bill almost like every month.
And Inglourious Bastards.
Yes, multiple times. And I think even from the Kill Bill I felt it, but Quentin Tarantino really knows how to like build up this intensity and to like blow it up in such a movie way. The movie is about just Second World War, Nazi and Nazi hunters and Nazi hunters. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole movie setup forces you to do it, but I really encourage people to watch each scenes. Like Quentin Tarantino way of making each scenes very interesting. Like each scene setups are so weird, but also very interesting, somewhat realistic still. And there's his way of giving audience giving what they want. So like while you're watching movie, you build up your own expectation, and at the end, the director Quentin Tarantino just gives you what you want, and then you can totally feel that. Like you can totally feel that happening.
Because I think throughout the whole film, no matter what's happening, you always feel like a little uneasy.
Yeah, yes. And the language part is also very interesting. Every single event that's happening in the movie happens because of language. Like because they don't speak the same language. Buongiorno.
Oh yeah, oh god, Brad Pitt speaking Italian with a, what is he, Southern accent as well?
Tennessee.
Buongiorno.
Oh man.
Maynardville, Tennessee.
Anyway, not my fave. Moving on to mine, I would like to counter with Amelie, which I just found out he has never really seen. But I hope that most of you have. If you
watched
haven't,
the first 20 minutes, I'm telling you.
Okay, well, it's not the whole thing. If you haven't seen it already, please try and watch it right after this. It is a French film. How do I explain it? It is about a woman named Amelie, and she lives a very normal life. Then she starts to kind of manipulate the world around her in not a negative or a positive way. She plays like a couple pranks on people who like I think deserved it, but yeah, it just kind of goes through that period of her life where she's kind of creating this own world that she lives in. One thing that I really like about it, and it was kind of the first film I ever saw do this, was the play with narration. So there's a narrator, but then sometimes Amelie reacts to the narrator or like even interacts with the audience and gets rid of the what did we say it was? The fourth wall? The third wall? The fourth wall? The fourth wall. It's beautiful. The colors are amazing. Every single scene, you can screenshot it. It looks like a painting. Yeah, it's a really, really wonderful film, and I highly suggest it. Oh, Amen. On to you, sir.
Yes. I picked up Boyhood, the Richard Linkletter. It's about this boy becoming a grown up, going to college. The movie ends with he going to college. And
so Toy Story.
Yes. I actually haven't watched it, never mind. They filmed it for this movie for 17 years. So they picked this like group of people. Director's daughter, the random guy, the boy, and Ethan Hawke as a father. I think it was some Patricia. I forgot her name. The actress as a mother, and they filmed them for like 17 years. Every year, like they filmed a little bit by little. So actually, while throughout the movie, you can see even like quality of film changes. Actually, it's hard to notice it, but you can actually notice it. And also, like the things around the characters changes very naturally. Like there's
as if 17 years were passing.
I like the movie a lot. It's about just showing you like how time passed by, how life changes. It sounds boring, I know, but actually while you're watching, you don't feel like it's boring. It just gives you the sense of like how you become where you are, and how things would change. It's such a like interesting movie. It's interesting to see how things change throughout 17 years. Yes.
So for me, for my second one, I really, really like old movies, and this has been one of my favorites since I can remember, since I was a little kid. It is Some Like It Hot, and it is Marilyn Monroe is in it, first of all. And it is about these two musicians. One, I think he plays the cello, and the other is a saxophonist, and they just happen to witness a crime which makes them the target of the mafia. In order to go into hiding, they join an all-girls jazz band, big band, and they're going, I think they're in Chicago, and they end up going to Florida. Fun fact, it's actually filmed in San Diego at the Hotel Del. It is not filmed in Florida, but that's besides the point. And it's just hilarious. Like, it's a really, really great comedy. Yeah, it's just absolutely hilarious, and the music is spot on. Everything about it is wonderful. I've memorized it. I could watch it every single day for the rest of my life. Some Like It Hot.
I haven't watched it. I don't even know what that is about.
It's comedy. It's old.
So I don't watch it.
And it's a musical. So everything you hate. So
watch it.
So sad.
Is it a musical?
I mean, they're in a band.
Oh, God.
They sing a lot. Marilyn Monroe has a lot of...
I'm okay with singing. I just not okay with people suddenly singing like...
Oh, it's not like that. It's not like that. It's not like that.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. Maybe we'll watch it sometime. Anyway,
on
to you, Birdman.
Birdman! Alexandra Gonzalez Iñárritu. I like the director also. I watched 11 multiple times too. Simply, the movie's about there's a guy who used to be a big star as a Birdman, the fake comic in the movie, and then he had a failure of his life and all that. He became just like actor that nobody knows. But not that nobody knows. It's kind of people like old people was like recognizing like, oh, he was a Birdman. Can he take a photo? Kind of person. But it's not. Nobody take him seriously. So he wanna be in a show business one more time. So he's trying to make a play with his own. So he write it, and then he's trying to make this play work. That's the whole movie. I really like those scenes where the actor is acting as an actor. The actors acting as a play actors. The specific scene there is where like Edward Norton goes like, just feed me line, and then like Michael Keaton just like goes with the line, and then Edward Norton picks it up, and he just rewrite the script in a spot, very naturally and very convincingly. And also the whole like art, like what is this art thing? That's another layer of the movie. Like it keeps asking you about like what is this art? People are paying all this money to watch. Like what is art? Simply also like the struggle of this man trying to make this work, this like obsessive work. Yeah, all that is very intensive, very interesting.
A lot of the scenes are all shot in one take, and so some of the scenes are literally like 20 minutes of one take, and so my poor little brain needs like a break in the action.
It's very it's also really like so interesting experience to have that long take.
Yeah, it's definitely like I appreciate it. It's not
there are even the long takes that actually morphs the time. Like
oh, and they also do that thing with the music where the music will be like playing. He'll be like walking down the street and you'll overhear music in a store, and then you don't even realize it, but the music suddenly becomes like actually
there's a scene like he's coming up from the theater, and then like you hear the drum.
Yeah. And then it like becomes the music.
And then you suddenly turn the corner, like in the movie, you realize there's a drummer.
Yeah.
And then it was actual drumming.
Yeah.
And it naturally connects that into a movie. So like the line between the movie, like actual movie, to a story,
real life is
very like collapses.
So like I appreciate it. It is a really interesting film, but just for like my viewing pleasure.
It's just very interesting, like fun movie to watch.
So on to my last one then is Inception. It's very difficult for me to pick a top 3 movie, but I haven't seen this one in a really long time. I just remember being really blown away. I saw it in theaters. It's got Leonardo DiCaprio, it's got Ellen Page, it's got Joseph Gordon-Levitt. So
Ken Watanabe.
There you go. Ken Watanabe is also in it. Oh, he is. He's like the dude. Yeah. So anyway, so basically what is going on is Leonardo DiCaprio is tasked with Tom Hardy's in it too. Dang. Yeah, this is like a power movie. So anyway, Leonardo DiCaprio is tasked with planting an idea in somebody else's head because it is much easier, instead of trying to persuade someone, it is easier if they think that they came up with the idea themselves. So they have a way of planting these ideas in a dream, and so they have to like construct this whole dream world. They like hire architects, basically, like that's what Ellen Page is there for.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just like really wild, the amount of imagination that had to go into it. It's kind of sci-fi, it's kind of fantasy, it's kind of action, it's kind of romance. Yeah, it's, what's her name? Marion, what's her name?
Marion Cotillard.
Oh, merci.
It's a big movie. I totally forgot.
Yeah. The list keeps getting longer. At first I thought it was just Leo, and then I was like, oh, Joe. Yeah, I think those are the ones that we could come up with for now. If you're interested in more films, let us know. We have a long
Princess
list.
Bride.
The Princess Bride, do you like it? Oh, don't get my hopes up. I thought you said you hate. I love The Princess Bride also.
My name is Inigo Montoya.
Yeah.
You killed my father.
At least you can say that. I've taught him
Get
well.
ready to die.
Prepare to die.
Oh gosh.
Chicken
run.
run.
You do it.
No.
Do it.
No, I can't. What do you want me to say? No, chicken escapes.
No, the other one.
I saw my life flash before my eyes. It was really boring. Yeah. I can literally quote all of Chicken Run if you want me to. So, thrust! yeah, I can do it all if you want. So, that could be another time. Not now. So, yeah, I hope that you enjoyed. Thank you for watching with us. And yeah, please leave your movie suggestions down below, or if you have any like movie related videos you're interested in. Kurt obviously loves to talk about it, so we can give him his own show. Movies with Kurt. And okay. And so yeah, we will end it here. Thank you always. Anything you need to say?
Bye.
Bye. Bye.